Good morning. So my phone's being monitored. The only person that could have installed anything is someone who lives here. And last night I just told Dustin like he won't even he I told him how he can help me to leave here since I've been here since July 6th, and it's to report um to the US Marshals or whoever that I need to be picked up with witness protection. It's because, one, my identity was stolen in 2021. That is not a secret. The corrupt cops that had my phones kept my two phones. And when I got out of jail, that's when I realized that. And by the way, I went to jail because I defended myself and told on criminals. So, and I recorded them trying to arrest me without following Penal Code 2. So yeah, they did steal my phones. I did see my husband right before they tried to arrest me in 2021 in the same Starbucks parking lot, so they were probably friends with him. I don't know, but this has been ongoing. I don't know. I asked Dustin to start making reports if he's not involved in trafficking me, right? Then the only thing he can do to help me is to make these tips and reports and saying that I'm being trafficked. Well, he got really angry because from 12 a.m. to roughly 2 a.m., people were role playing again, and people act like telepaths don't exist. Okay, well, if I were to get an MRI, my brain would light up where telepathy is stored, and everyone that would test me to see if I'm a telepath would confirm that I'm actually hearing what they're saying without even speaking. So these tests need to happen with me. The help that I have here is not helping me. Dropping me off at an FBI building once is the equivalent, and telling people that I need mental health services the first week I get here because I report that I'm hacked, by the way, in the first week that I'm here, and all of my website's pointing to the wrong domain services and all this other stuff. So I'm not a liar. I don't sit around and have like paranoia and paranoid thoughts. I have proof that my website or someone signed into my GoDaddy account. There's a different IP address right there to try to add services to my domain and DNS and stuff, and I had to go in and try to fix it. And now I just disabled most of the stuff that I thought, well, that still isn't fixed, so I just disabled it. But my emails were being spoofed from the quantumnina.com emails, and I mean, it's no secret that my husband he visits Austin very often, and it's no secret that he's been saying that I have a mental illness ever since I reported a drawing that said I love my dad, but I have makeup on, I'm bleeding, I'm sad. I reported that in February of 2018, and ever since then, April of 2018 is the first time he ever committed me saying I have a mental illness. So it's no secret that he got mad that I called 911 on him and told on him because I thought he was abusing my kids, and that he's been pretending that I have a mental illness for 6 years, and that he broke every temporary restraining order when we were separated. It was March 17th that police escorted him out of the house because he said he was going to kill me, and he kept abusing me. So I called the police, they escorted him out, and then the next day, right the same day as the shelter in place, CPS show up out of nowhere. There was the only time CPS showed up was because he would lie and say that I have symptoms of a mental illness, and even say the disorder that he decided he wanted me to have, which I don't have bipolar disorder. I have what's called Ring of Fire ADHD, and it's not severe, except I'm in such a horrible environment and surrounded by a bunch of horrible people that I should be medicated for ADHD. I do have like a lot of those symptoms. And I did go to a psychiatrist in 2020 in February, right before I told my husband I wanted a divorce, because my medicine didn't work. Antipsychotics didn't work. Nothing for bipolar, lithium didn't work. They tried to make me think I had schizophrenia and bipolar disorder when I was a new telepath. And so this has been ongoing for 6 years. CPS shows up, back to my story. CPS did show up in March, on March 18th, with my husband and his mother. And I called the police because they were telling me that my kids had to leave, and I knew there had to be some kind of court order. I'm not an abusive parent. I didn't have a mental illness. I still, to this day, do not have a mental illness, but I know what this is. This is theta programming. This is psychological warfare tactics used on me because I don't like him being a child rapist, which that drawing, my kids had to witness something. Kids don't draw stuff like that. A sad kid with a stick figure in a dress with color on their face, with a sad face. And my daughter drew that when she was maybe, I don't know, 5, because she just started learning how, she had has dyslexia. So I taught her how to read and write. Or I tutored her on top of school, and that's how she wrote when she was 5 and 6. She'd leave out vowels and stuff. So long story short is, that's what kind of, those are the kind of people that helped steal. Child rapists are the ones that helped steal my identity. My husband knew the men that arrested me. They were all men, by the way, at Harris County Sheriff's Office, saying that I had a stolen vehicle, which I didn't. They've been networking with this large group of child rapists and people that that traffic people. So that's been going on, but it's just weird. Like, it, no one else could have hacked me except someone using Dustin's Beaver Web Wi-Fi when I first got here. That was day 2. And no one else could have installed something on my phone except someone that's here. And I don't know if they know each other. I mean, if they're into the same thing sexually, I guess they would know each other. But I brought that up to him last night. I told him that I'm just going to call and say I'm trafficked. I mean, when I first got here, I didn't want to have any intimate relationships with Dustin. I only wanted to be here for a couple of weeks, and I have quantum messaging. I told him I just want to leap lotteries and leave as soon as possible. So I knew this group would follow me. They followed me from Houston to Colorado, and I knew they would follow me here, but they were already here, is what I'm trying to say. And the woman, whoever is using my identity, whether it's a hooker or an illegal immigrant or whoever it is, this person doesn't want to let go of my identity. And because corrupt cops and whoever else, they're all involved in this whole scheme to traffic me, because I really do have powers. My DNA has been tested. I'm not some delusional person. I do hear, and other people hear me, the resonance and me, the force that I project when I quantum teleport into any space, whether it's in the present time or the past. I mean, there's the turning point, the bomb in the Cold War. It's literally hyperlinked on my website, the first thing. And I do say my website through the whole first episode out of sound waves. You can hear it. It is audible. And it's in 1930s and 1940s footage. So I've been trying to get help. It's the kind of help I need is not mental health services. Those people do not understand me. They look at symptoms. They don't even, especially the state provided stuff, they don't help me. All they do is try to throw medicine at me, which I just need a healthy environment. And every time especially now, when I try to go and find help or get help, people that love me get cut off from me or attacked telepathically by the same people. People just in general, digital communications gets blocked. This has been going on for 6 years, the abuse for 4 years, with me being, my husband making me homeless, and I don't know, just spreading rumors on and on and on. Um, and then 3 years is how long my identity's been stolen, and it's got to stop. So I don't know how it's going to stop. I don't have symptoms of a mental illness, but I do have symptoms of someone who's being abused constantly. And when I try to get help, or I'm not going to get help here. Okay. Cedar Park Police Department were receiving emails, I guess, of stuff that people are trying to frame me now for crimes that they're guilty of. I don't ever leave this place. Nobody ever comes in here to visit me except Dustin. Dustin Brennan is the only person that ever comes in here to visit me. Every now and then I see the food truck owners or their wives. And I can count probably 10 times since I've been here. Nope, not even that much. Well, yeah, probably 10 times I have crossed paths or ran into them. Um, those are the only people that I ever see here. I'm not close to anybody. I haven't wanted to make any friends that come to this park ever since I was hacked. I just haven't trusted this place. So I don't intend on making friends. I did invite every owner and Sergio, the general contractor that came here that's working on the roof. I invited them to try my service instructions, and I do know that I'm being recorded in here. Um, and again, my phone is being monitored, and to what extent that I even have the capability of getting out of here is very slim. Um, and I've said all of this before on several videos, but I guess a lot of people don't take the time to just watch my videos. Um, but yeah, as far as help, I need witness protection so I can get a new social, so some psychos can't be, committing fraud or using my social security number anymore. I can't get into my social security, by the way, ssa.gov profile. And I tried yesterday. I can't get into the healthcare.gov. So whoever this is using my identity for several things. I mean, anything they could possibly use it for. And if anyone were doing their jobs, they can see if they're going to doctor's appointments pretending to be me, and using my social to, finance any property or get apartments, which I think someone's using my identity for an apartment. Um, yeah, and all the other things that they would try to do with my social. And my kids need the same thing because my husband's family think I'm replaceable because they know that I quantum teleport into the past, that I time travel into the past or send messages into the past. So they all do. I've been telling them in a group chat since last year how to receive messages from me in the future. And I told my family. So again, they've spent maybe 5 times I've seen Will's family in the last 10 years. None of them know me. None of them know me that well. They never spent time with me. um I think my 30th birthday, maybe my 30th birthday. That's when I spent a couple of days or a day and a night with my mother in law and my sister in law. And holidays was the only time I would see her or them. Will and I weren't getting along, so I just didn't want to have any strong relationship or anything influencing my decision, which was to leave. I wanted to leave for 6 years, and we're still married. So that's the other problem. I need to be divorced from him so his girlfriend and them can't move money in and out of bank accounts pretending to be me and whatever else they're pretending to do. And yeah, yeah, I just need to be picked up. I don't have a car. Traffickers and criminals have destroyed 6 vehicles over the last 3 years. So I just need to get picked up, preferably with witness protection or a Department of Defense. I really am a weapon. These people that are trafficking me are trying to use me to change the past. Um, and they know that I mean, all these people in Congress have heard me say my website and say the date and time, and that in order to time travel they have to record themselves. It's a pretty, in order to be a messenger where I carry their messages into the past decades from the future. This is, I've invited everyone. My list of people who I've invited that are famous, it's on my website too. And the people trafficking me just don't want to let me go. So I do need like lethal forces to pick me up, to take me to a hotel at first and make sure my fingerprints match who I say I am, because some assholes are trying to get picked up instead of me. They've been doing this to me too. So yeah, my fingerprints match me from when I was 19 years old and got a driver's license. My DNA matches my kids and my mother and my family members in Colorado. To an extent, I have my mom's sisters, her half sisters. So I have half first cousins in Colorado. But, and I have cousins also on my dad's side that are first cousins. They're, you know, my uncles, my dad's brother, that's their his kids. So I have family. Everyone, it's hard to wrap your head around. I mean, I thought it was crazy for 2 years, and it didn't help that I was being abused, but I did. I If you suddenly get telepathy, you don't believe it's telepathy, you think you're crazy. That's a normal response. But I do have telepathic abilities, and um, whether people, I shouldn't be abused even if I believe that, and nobody wants to prove it in like a, a scientific way. um, if nobody has the capability of proving it, and everyone around me that want to control me are saying that that can't possibly be true, or that just like spreading rumors pretending that I have a mental illness, that is not helping me either. And medicine didn't help. I tried things their way in 2018 and 19, and I took medication to treat bipolar disorder and antipsychotics and stuff. I don't have that. Before that, I was taking Adderall to treat ADHD, and I was diagnosed in my early mid 20s, and then I got re-diagnosed for 4 hours with a psychiatrist in 2020 of February. So when I tried it their way and it didn't work, and I started Googling what I was experiencing, because I would Google hearing echoes of your thoughts in the past of videos. That's how I found quantum physics. I did not know anything about quantum physics. Like the other day, what would cause someone to what would cause sound waves to fall in sync with someone else's personal thoughts, um, and be in, you know, speak in unison with those vibrations. Anyway, that's how I find things. That's what I'm experiencing. My body is producing that, and I need scientists, not psychiatrists. I need like bioengineers and genetic engineers. I've listed it. I have a 10-year plan. I don't have a mental illness. People with mental illnesses don't make organized 10-year plans and hopefully try to pitch that plan to the government to try to work for them because they have a business. I'm making a video right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, this one was dried inside.
So, yeah, it's a huge problem. And yeah, so those are the kind of that's the kind of help that I need, and I do need to work. But I created my business because I was trafficked by the last three jobs that I worked for. One was in Houston. This group follows, finds out where I work, and then they start hacking where I work, or they start soliciting sex with minors or whatever, hookers. Start seducing the men for my work. They troll the social media. They will harass people and troll them on social media, pretending to be me, or just
trying to lure people out who are close to me that or just work with me every day. And they did that in Houston, and then they I left because they were planning on kidnapping me. And I left to Colorado to try to get help. I was dumb. I thought Space Force could help me or something military that isn't. I thought this whole state was hijacked on a network level because every time I try to get help, nobody helps me. And then so I went to Colorado, and then I got a job there once I got settled with my family. And it only took maybe a week for this group to find out where I work. And so yeah, I worked for a transportation company. I wasn't getting offered good jobs, by the way. I had a brand manager job here, but when I went to Colorado, I was I think the only thing that I could find, and I applied to hundreds of things a week of several. I wasn't being picky. I was applying to everything. That's why my skills tests are so long. That's why I took so many skills tests, because I was prompted to do that many types of jobs, which by the way, I test proficient in. I'm extremely intelligent and talented, and I do know what I'm doing, and I'm a 39-year-old woman. I'm not some little girl with no work experience. These losers that are trafficking me here, trying to turn me into a whore or a stripper or sex worker or whatever, I'm not doing it. So I want so yeah, that happened. These jobs that I've been getting for other companies where I still get exploited are under $20 an hour. I No one's offering me any opportunities except for people who, I don't know, do they hack me before I go to a job, or do they find out where I might be working because I have to do the interview and stuff, and then they just plant one of them in there? I don't know why this continues to happen, and I'm getting ignored somehow when I've done nothing but develop my own business. um, I developed my website. I registered my business. No one paid my bills. I was working minimum wage to pay for this. And that's all I wanted was something like a portfolio and to offer services and just be independent from being exploited working for other people. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to get my life back. My identity was stolen. I'm trying to unsteal it from the people who stole it from me, and I feel like my life has been robbed because I married Will in 2004, and with the exception of my children, he's done nothing but make my life completely miserable. We did not get along when we first got married. His mother forced me to marry him. She pressured me anyway and said I couldn't live with them, with my son, if I didn't marry her son. And it's been 20 years. He owes me 10 years of spousal maintenance. I want a divorce. I want 20% of his gross income for 10 years. Even if I do successfully sell time travel to people, which is the hardest sale in the world, by the way. And it is I'm the only person who does it. It's not something you can learn. I have a genetic mutation. It is not even inherited. I am almost certain that God poked his finger down and said, I'm going to teach you a lesson, and I'm going to teach everyone who know you a lesson. And the lesson is love. I mean, I felt abandoned by God until I had powers. And then, even then, I was just like abused. But now that I know about all these women and children getting abused by disgusting men, because I'm a victim of men like that, I feel like I can really make something big, like a huge change for people that are suffering the most, like children getting raped to death and women getting raped to death and robbed. And just this whole thing has taught me a big lesson about, human behavior for sure, because humans are not as brave as I thought they were. I was thinking, oh, people are definitely going to just rush here and save me. No, when you're getting attacked by a telepath and you don't know what the hell that is, you think it's demons or angels or aliens or whatever, people tend to stay away. And that's why people have not picked me up yet. Part of the reason why. They've been trolling the cops' social media, the department here. They've been trolling them and even spoofing my emails and sending them absurd emails when my emails should have gotten to them. I did copy every lieutenant there and every the chief of police there even, and told him what's going on with me and that my identity is stolen. I need witness protection. I could easily, even if I wasn't a telepath, even if I just, was a witness to crimes, I could easily help them with their vice, department or division or whatever, because of how many women and children are suffering in this neighborhood, getting trafficked, and their identities getting stolen, all this stuff. So even if I were completely crazy and full of crap, which I'm not, but if that were the case, and spam keeps calling me while I'm making this video, what a surprise. So even if by the way, they record me when I answer, and I'm pretty sure I don't know what they're doing with my numbers, but nobody has called me in my family, and I am worried about them. Traffickers keep saying they're dead. They keep role playing that they're dead. I don't know who all of the traffickers are, but someone's telling my business who lives here. Who they're okay. It's either a telepath that likes to eavesdrop on me all the time. That's very possible. Excuse me. Or there are hidden cameras everywhere, or both, because it has to stop. Like, I've done nothing but be kind to people, to try to reach across the table when it comes to my husband and get him to follow the law at least and let me see my kids. I've never been an abusive parent, ever. And you can ask them. They will tell you what I was like as a mom. And they will tell you all the abuse and all of the fighting with my husband for several years. They will tell you. And they probably won't tell you telepathically. Why don't you go ask them? Or when I call CPS or call Harris County Sheriff's Office to make a wellness check, and some asshole calls me and didn't even make a wellness check, he just pretended to be a cop and calls me because my phone's being ported by services I don't own but are somehow in my name. So I've reported all of this to the FBI. I've made so many reports. I'm tired of making reports. I'm a vigilante now because I'm tired of making reports and nobody doing their jobs. I'm tired of being exploited. When I'm the only human being in the world that can probably help usher in evolution and Star Trek and, cool things that exist in the future, decades in the future. I'm the only one. So if this is how the majority of people treat women, especially that ascend and have powers that are from God, then I don't think God's going to respond very well, especially if y'all's intentions are to take the one human being that was sent, I guess, some kind of mutation. It's quantum mutations. It's quantum and nuclear. My DNA biomolecular scientists will confirm that we're in Colorado anyway, that my DNA comes into contact with bioorganisms and elements, and it changes. First of all, it lights those things up because my atoms are already lighter than those things, but it binds without a binding agent to anything that is foreign to my body. Bioorganisms activates anything quantum, and anything that's similar to me in genetic material would be activated. That's a fact. And the other thing, elements, changes the structure. So the way it looks under a microscope on a slide changes the shape and brightens the atoms. So I know this because Logan Earl Garner took my tampons to the University of Colorado Boulder. I know that other scientists that he's invited, I also know that he was purchasing sex with, traffickers or whatever. So same people, every single person I've dated has been approached or harassed or targeted by these same people, which is why I'm single. And yeah, I deserve compensation and a divorce from my husband when we do get a divorce. And my parental rights are actually still intact, and there are no parental rights taken from me. Why would parental rights be taken from me? Did you see any of the videos? Did anyone do the research and see any of the videos of me before he started pretending I have a mental illness, or even after? I mean, Nobody does the research. And the cops that stole my two phones with all my digital assets tied to it, those cops did work for Harris County Sheriff's Office, and they gave those phones to someone who took the liberty of using my social media to troll everyone who knows me. So when I do finally get out, no one would help me even then because they think that I hate them, or they received shitty messages on, Facebook Messenger saying crazy things. I don't know what they used my social media for. I don't I know what the plan was, and the plan was to make sure that I die if I get out of jail, or first be trafficked so they can make money off of me, and then if I tell on them, I die. Like, that is what I've been threatened with for 6 years. So if you're out there and you know that you can help me, all I need is a hotel room. Um, for a couple of days. I need it for a couple of days. Number one, I need receivers. My service is real. If you record yourself at a gas station and I watch those videos in the future after I've been paid 50% of a lottery that I've sent to you, that means I send it because you pay me 50%. And I'm working backwards. I go back in time. So you would be hearing the numbers, the actual results. This is the only way I can leap a lot of money. Okay? So that's the way I stay safe, is if I have millions of dollars to keep me out of being trafficked ever again. And so I need receivers who are recording themselves at a gas station, bubble in the right numbers, and then don't forget to pay me 50%, because if you don't, then you won't hear me. It's that simple, because I work from the future. If you don't do your job from the present time to the future, then the future will not happen. Just like my 10-year plans. People think they can steal my 10-year plans from me. Why don't you go back in time and try to steal Elon Musk's 10-year plans, or Jeff Bezos's 10-year plans, or Bill Gates's 10-year plans? Like, any billionaire's 10-year plans, which is what I plan on being fairly soon. And it won't be because I'm a lottery thief or whatever. It's because I'm valuable. I'm the only human being with this capability, and I'm trying to work for the government. And I do have the capability, when I'm in good health anyway, and not being trafficked or controlled by anyone, to make drugs that heal people with my DNA. And it won't happen with, but being trafficked and in some kind of shed while people drain my blood every day. This is something that I physically have to go and get done. And I've offered to possibly make this under the blanket of with the military, because people are psychotic with me, and I do need military level protection. I need like secret service, just like the freaking president, because people want to exploit and kill and control me. Like, it has to stop. Why would they all behave that way if what I do isn't real? So I need to be at a hotel. I need a phone that works, not being monitored by anyone. Except if you're an officer, police officer, you have to take my fingerprints. My fingerprints have to match who I am. Make sure I'm me, guys, because apparently people keep picking up the wrong me, because it's not me. I don't know, draw blood. Have the scientists be there that are going to be experimenting on my DNA to confirm that it's not transferable, which some idiots have already confirmed. They've been experimenting on my DNA for a year. Nobody time travels. But what they do is record me on these stupid cameras and these stupid recording devices. And yes, I can hear audio recordings. People that listen to audio of me, I can hear. People, they just don't comprehend me because I don't exist anywhere else. There are no textbooks on quantum humans, okay? There's books on quantum biology, but not quantum humans, and definitely, if they have quantum mutations, not quantum human time traveling people. They don't exist anywhere. I'm the only one. So once I get confirmed that I am who I say I am, that I'm safe and not being trafficked where I am, hopefully you've leaped lotteries with me, because that's really important. That wherever I go from the hotel, I can purchase my own home that isn't bugged, or with a roommate that is being paid to spy on me, or any just a nosy ass roommate. I don't need that. I want to live alone and rescue my kids, and they can live with me because they're older. We always get along. We have a lot in common. Our personalities are very similar. We respect each other and love each other. Same thing with my family in Colorado. None of them were assholes to me, but my mother, huge asshole. My ex-in-laws, assholes. Like they just no. And so I need that. And then scientists, preferably with the government, because I need a job that actually values my time, that evaluates the data. Okay, this woman has powers, and I guess I don't know how they're going to prove that it's not transferable, except that maybe if they look at a slide and they add my blood to other people's DNA and they keep seeing that mine is the only one that is changing the biomolecular structure, or however you say it, transforming other genetic material, and it's temporary, by the way. It doesn't last, and no, it doesn't make you my twin. It's not a virus. It's not bacteria. It's not a disease. You can't keep it, and it won't try to stay in you. I don't. I'm like Rogue from X-Men, though. My DNA does absorb. I can teleport it on out of you with my mind. So that's what kind of DNA I have now, although I am still human, which sucks. I'm anchored to a human body, but that is what I am now. So all this getting confirmed by real scientists, and yeah, I'll take a psych exam or psychological exam. I would love to be medicated for ADHD, but honestly, I just need a healthy environment, like good people surrounding me. So I think I have that ADHD thing under control despite what I'm going through. That's all I need. I need real help, not commitment and someone wanting to claim a power of attorney so they can control me. And they're freaking morons, is all they are. They're idiots with a hunger for power. They have some kind of addiction to me, honestly. An addiction to making me suffer, and an addiction to trying to control me. These people have to be out of my life, and my children should be they should be out of their lives too, because they think my abilities are inherited. They're not. If they were, my kids would have it inherited. My mother would be this way. My father wasn't this way. If it was were inherited, someone in my past in my family would have been the same way. They're not. So that's the data. That's what I'm going through. I'm irritated. I just wake up every day and this is an issue. Every day I'm here. And when I ask Dustin, will you please make the FBI tips and tell the police that I'm being trafficked? Since you're not involved, he swears he's not involved, but he refuses to make those tips. He's like, well, what do I tell them? What do you mean? You tell them? I have folders that you obsess over, that you know what I've been reporting. Why don't you tell them that? So it's annoying. I'm trapped here until some group of people pick me up and get me out of here. And I'm not being dramatic by saying that I was coerced into having sex since I've been here, which were not my intentions. I was celibate for a reason. It's because I don't trust anybody. I don't want anyone in my body. I do not want a boyfriend at all. I don't want a girlfriend either. I don't want an intimate relationship with anyone. Especially not until I have my drug developed. So that is what I'm trying to do. I have 10-year plans. Read through them thoroughly. I've made comments on every single cell. I thought this through for hours and hours and hours. And honestly, it started of me just like making plans. I just wanted to make plans and try to figure out how much money I'm going to need. And hopefully once my family are smart enough to follow my instructions, they will have money with me and, make their own plans. But since June of last year, when I made these plans, or this year, a whole group of people thought I had money and thought, oh, now is the time to hack her endlessly and try to steal from her and go get on all of her accounts and try to steal all of her money. I don't have any money. They've prevented me from having money. Anyone that tries to steal from my receivers that are following my instructions would erase them from even winning. because I don't deliver until I get paid. So these traffickers have been targeting everyone that I've invited, whether they want my service for monetary reasons or because they just want to know the future or give themselves good advice, because I do carry someone's messages back and forth through space time with my five senses. Uh, and that's all. That's all I've been asking for, is for my human rights to be returned to me and my freedom from being trafficked. It's not that much to ask for, you know. A lot of people have those things. And I don't want to live in the United States if this continues. I don't want to be here. I could be treated the same way in any other country, but at least they would get me a job. They would give me a job to do, which is something my government has failed to do so far. Even though I have applied for government jobs, I've applied to so many. I've submitted so many applications in the last 3 years. It's exhausting. This is exhausting. So, yeah, my business will stay up and I'm waiting for my help to show up. It could be anybody. Show up.